All right, you ready to go, Carla?
I am.
All right, here we go, everyone. Welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. This is show number 38. All right?
Woo! 38.
Every time I've looked at her for the past 2 hours, I've laughed. I don't know why, but nonetheless, this keeps occurring. But that's not going to take away from how.
I guess I look funny today.
I don't know, but anyway, I'll try to focus and dig deep right here, right now.
Men's draw.
Focus.
You know, this is so much more exciting for some reason.
Actually, I think the women's is incredibly exciting.
No,
but this one,
I'm excited with this draw.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one too. All right, so in case you missed our show from earlier today, yes, 2 shows in one day, we did the women's draw already. So if you click the link above, you can take a break before you get into the men's and check out the women's breakdown. And again, I'll put a link above to do so. Also, I will put a second link above that you can click on, and about 4 minutes into that video, we will discuss how you can qualify for our tennis racket giveaway for this Indian Wells tournament, in which the draws are now out. For the most part, less a couple of qualifiers who may have shots, so keep your eyes out for that. But click the link above, and about 4 minutes in, there's instructions on how to qualify for the tennis racket giveaway and some YTEX strings for second place.
All right.
All right. So here we go. Let's jump right into the men's draw. We are a little bit dark in here tonight. We usually do this during the day. So if I have glare from the glasses, then that's my fault.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump right into the men's draw. Ready to go?
Yes,
Let's
I
do
am.
it.
Well, you have the #1 seed, Novak Djokovic from Serbia, who has a bye, and there's like 2 spots, qualifiers, that haven't been filled in, and I have him facing Pierre Hughes Herbert from France and winning that match. You know, this is one of my favorite players, actually, Pierre Hughes Herbert. He's a good doubles player. You
have to watch out for Kohlschreiber, that he is playing in the first round.
Well, is he?
Yeah, he's playing him in the first round.
Oh, you're right. I didn't see that. I missed that.
So this is a difficult one. Herbert is a great player. He really is. Kohlschreiber, I think, is even a little bit better. So I do have Herbert winning that match.
Oh, you are right. I'm sorry. There are 2 qualifiers facing each other.
Exactly.
So we don't know who the qualifiers are going to be. Either way, I think Djokovic will get through that.
I definitely agree with you with Herbert. I know that Kohlschreiber is a wonderful player, believe me.
Well, then I would have to switch that. I'd have to actually go for the veteran Kohlschreiber there.
I'm gonna stick with Herbert. You said it, a little snafu there, but again, I wouldn't change it. I'd still go with the pick.
Okay.
All right, but as far as Djokovic, yes, bye in the first round. He's gonna face a qualifier. Some qualifier may have a shot. Doubt it though. So I think Djokovic will handle his schedule after the bye and jump right into the 3rd round, in my opinion.
Yes.
I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
No, I don't think anyone will.
All right, so just below Kohlschreiber and Herbert, we have Kyrgios with the bye, which would set up either a Kyrgios-Herbert match or a Kyrgios-Kohlschreiber match. I have Kyrgios winning either of those matches.
Same here.
And ultimately meeting Djokovic for a really big-time showdown in the 3rd round. We'll talk about that shortly, right?
I have Nick Kyrgios from Australia pulling through that round and facing Novak Djokovic from Serbia.
So, yeah, we have the same thing.
The same thing.
We have the same thing. I had to pause there for a second. Yeah, so we have a little bit different path of getting to that point, but nonetheless, we have the same outcome.
Correct.
All right, so next section below that, we have the likes of Gael Monfils, who's been hot, especially...
He's the number 18 seed in this tournament.
Yeah, it's like when Gael Monfils and Svitolina got together, they had this whole positive energy thing that morphed both of them into playing tennis like they haven't played in a long time.
I think that's awesome. Sometimes love can make you do a lot of things and make you feel like you're on top of the world.
Get lost in it, right?
Yes, definitely.
And then find tennis that can intertwine with that.
Definitely.
Hey, I say
it's a positive.
I'm saying go.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but we have Monfils there. We have the likes of Riley Opelka, the big serving 6'11", 6 feet 11" American tennis player. We have Ivo Karlovic comes down later. We have Cecchinato in that section. Cecchinato, for me, I don't really find him interesting at any round of any tournament. No offense.
Well, let's go back to Monfils, because if you see, he has a bye, and then he has Riley Opelka or Leonardo Mayer from Argentina. I actually have Riley Opelka beating the Argentine and meeting up with Monfils.
I have the same thing. I was just kind of, I guess, touching on who's in this little section. But yeah, going back to the top, I agree. I have Opelka beating Leonardo Mayer from the Argentinian player.
Sorry, that's our cat. He's excited.
Yeah, he's part of the
team. His name is Roger.
His name is Roger. Not named after Roger Federer, but...
no, he was actually named after Roger Federer.
All right. So, but yeah, I have Monfils meeting Opelka, and I do have Monfils beating Opelka as well.
Okay. I have Monfils beating Opelka. I think he will be too much for the 21-year-old, in my opinion.
But if you go a little bit lower than that, you have Zumur, you have Leonardo Mayer, you have Ramos Vinolas, and you have Cecchinato. That's an open section for any of those players. I think Monfils will meet any of those players in the third round, and I think we have a blockbuster match that could line up between Monfils and Nick Kyrgios.
Well, you're kind of skipping because then you're saying that Nick Kyrgios is beating Djokovic.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, then I did the same thing.
Back to the top of this section, we've gotten down to the fourth round of this section. In the top section, I think Kyrgios will finally do what he needs to do to solidify a spot at the top of the game. I've said this for a long time. He's 2-0 against Djokovic lifetime.
He's beaten him before at the Indian Wells, and he's beaten him at Acapulco. So Nadal's loss to him is no surprise because he's done it to Novak Djokovic as well at Acapulco.
Yeah.
And he did it to him in 2017 at Indian Wells. I think Djokovic hasn't played a few matches, so I think he might be a bit surprised. If he loses, I don't think it's a big deal for him since he's not defending any points.
This is one of those matches that Carla and I talk about over time that does it really affect the grand scheme of things if the player goes too deep or if they lose too early, right?
Yeah.
So is it a loss if Djokovic were to lose this match for him?
No, it's not. No, because this is hardcore. And not only that, the next Grand Slam is clay.
Is it not a match for everything to gain from Kyrgios?
Definitely. He needs this match.
So if it's a Djokovic who loses this match, no real points to contend with, he stays safe.
He'll just gain some points.
He gets set for the French, which he needs to win to do the Djokovic Slam twice. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he's winning...
I wouldn't be surprised if he lost this match.
Yeah,
I don't think it really matters for him, for fans to think, oh... I think he's going to save a lot of gas in the tank for those clay tournaments.
I think that I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Djokovic, I think if he's sliding through the match and winning it quite easily, then okay. But if he gets into some real dig deep, really grinding gladiator match, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrgios wins this. And I do have Kyrgios.
Well, Kyrgios is going to have to work to win this. So
he's going to have to work.
It's not going to be easy.
But I have Kyrgios winning the match that I have on my draw between Kyrgios and Monfils, and I do have Kyrgios moving into the quarterfinals.
I actually have Monfils beating Kyrgios. These two have played against each other. They have a 1-1 record. So I give this to Monfils right now, just because he's a tricky player to beat. They kind of have the same style, and I think Monfils is probably going to get under Kyrgios' skin. So we'll see.
So you have, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have Kyrgios and Monfils both getting to the fourth round. Mm-hmm. I have Kyrgios going into the quarterfinals, and you have Monfils going into the quarterfinals.
Yes.
So you're really big on this Svitolina positive energy stuff, right?
Well, Gael Monfils, he has the game.
But we both have Djokovic. No, we might get some haters on this one. If
it was a Grand Slam, then
Djokovic all day.
I would not pick.
Yeah,
Kyrgios,
absolutely.
No way.
And I still think that Djokovic will probably win the match. But on paper, on this draw, I said, you know what? Who has more to gain and less to lose?
Right.
And I feel like Djokovic has nothing to lose. He wants to win the French. And I just would give the edge because of these factors to Kyrgios in that match. But I do have Kyrgios beating Monfils.
Okay.
All right, next section, moving forward. I was a slow starter. It's been a long day. We did the women's show and then dinner and then the tennis court. Yeah. And then the draws here, so I'm trying to get myself motivated.
Well, we have your guy, Borna Koric from Croatia.
With the bye in the first round.
With the bye, he's number 11 seed, and he has in his little section Ivo Karlovic from Croatia.
Big server.
Matthew Ebden from Australia. A qualifier, so we don't know who's going to be there. Benoit Paire from France.
Racket smasher.
And Nicolas Basilashvili, which is another of your favorite guys. And he's become one of my favorite as well.
Yeah, this is a cool little section right here. Borna Koric with the bye, I think will end up facing Ivo Karlovic. Ivo Karlovic has a tight little first match against Ebden, though.
I went the other way.
In the first round.
I went the other way. I actually went with Matthew Ebden just because he's been playing a lot of tournaments. And, I mean, there's only so much a big serve can do if you have nothing else but a serve. I
think the big server, I think the big Karlovic, big Ivor, I think he serves his way through the first round and ends up beating Coric. And Coric winning, I think, in straight sets against Karlovic and heading into the third round. But you have...
I have Coric winning either, even if Ebden went through, I have Coric going to the next round.
Well, best of luck for Ebden. Geez, I know they need help in Australian tennis, so...
I think he'll be fine.
Again, I'm going with the big server in the first round, but ultimately I think Karlovic will lose to Coric relatively easily. Basilashvili, I think, will wind up playing Benoit Pierre in the second round.
Don't smash those rackets, Bear.
Yeah, no collar. Roll the collar down. Don't smash as many rackets. But I do think that we see a rematch of Coric and Basilashvili in the third round, just like we did in this previous tournament, where Coric, I think, beat him in 3 sets, right?
Well, I actually have Basilashvili beating Coric this time at the Indian Wells. I think it'll be another 3-setter. I
have drawn or put on my draws the last 2 times that these two have played. Both times I picked Basilashvili. Both times I lost. This time I'm actually picking Coric. Okay. So if my luck remains the same, then Basilashvili will win. But I can't. 3 times in a row, I'm out. I'm going to pick Coric to win that match and head into the 4th round by beating Basilashvili in the 3rd.
Okay. Well, then we have Gilles Simon from France. He has a bye. He's the number 27 seed. We have Bradley Klahn from the USA, Malik Jazeera from Tunisia, Federico Del Bonis from Argentina, Jordan Thompson from Australia, and Dominic Thiem from Austria. Dominic Thiem is your number 7 seed in this tournament.
This is kind of an interesting section in a way. In this section, Gilles Simon is not a threat.
But he can beat any player.
He can beat any player, but he better be absolutely dialed in.
And he can beat Dominic Thiem too. So,
Malik Jazeera, the Tunisian guy.
Isn't he a veteran?
I like him.
A real veteran? He's like 33, 34, 35, around there?
I like Jazeera in this section. Del Bonis, by the way, another guy that's been around a while. I don't have him inked in going very far in this section at all, if even out of the first round. But I like Jazeera here to win his match, and then to face Gilles Simon, and then to beat Gilles Simon, and Jazeera winding up in the 3rd round. That's how I have that section. I like Jazeera here.
Well, I have Simon playing against Klahn, and Simon winning that match, and then I have Thiem playing against Thompson, Thiem winning that match. Overall, Simon beating Thiem, Dominic Thiem.
All right, so you have Thiem meeting Simon in that section, and I have Jazeera meeting Thiem, but I have Thiem winning that match.
Okay.
So you have Thiem winning that match against...
No, I have Simon.
You have Simon
winning, yes.
So
I think Dominic Thiem has lost a lot this year. His confidence is really low. He has no idea what's going on, and I don't think he's a great hardcourt player. So
you have Simon against Basilashvili?
Correct, and I have Basilashvili actually winning that.
And I have Coric versus Thiem with Coric winning that. Therefore, Kyrgios faces Coric in the quarterfinals.
I actually have Monfils against Basilashvili, and Monfils getting to his semifinal.
I have Kyrgios taking out Coric, and Kyrgios winding up in the semifinal.
Okay, so we have pretty different.
Let's see what happens. All right, moving forward. Next section, we have, or the bottom half of the top half of the draw, if that makes sense. We have Alexander Zverev.
Wait. Before you say that, there was a viewer that corrected us, and he said his name was
Zverev. Arvis.
Yeah. Zverev. So it's
Zverev.
Zverev.
All right. The bottom section of the top half of the men's draw begins with Alexander or Sasha Zverev. You have Martin Klizan. You have his brother here, Misha Zverev, as well. You have John Millman, as well as Jan-Leonard Struff, who's a good player, winding up with Grigor Dimitrov. That's a lightning section.
That's a little tough draw, right? That's a tough section.
That's a really tough section.
Well, I have Alexander Zverev beating Klizan, Martin Klizan from Slovakia. And then I have Dimitrov meeting John Millman from Australia and winning that match.
I have Dimitrov meeting Millman with Dimitrov winning the match.
Yes. So do you have a clash against Zverev and...
Yeah, I do.
Dimitrov?
I'll just fast forward that for time reasons, number one. But for number two, I think we're going to head in the right direction here. I have Zverev meeting Dimitrov. Do you have that?
Yes, I do.
Who do you have winning that?
Dimitrov.
I do as well. So
I don't think this German player, this young German player,
I don't think he's ready.
His game, no, he's just not ready, and he's 21. He should be like winning matches, winning 1000s, winning 500s, and he's just not doing it.
Yeah, I just see so much of the same old same. I'm with you. I figured we would be, so we'll just save everybody time. Comment below if you think we're wrong there. Again, if we're sluggish on this show, don't shoot us. It's been a very long day, but we're still glad to be doing the draw.
So we have Dimitrov then moving on to the quarters.
I have Dimitrov moving.
No, I'm sorry, to the fourth round.
To the fourth round, yeah.
Okay.
So I have Dimitrov in the fourth round. Now let's scoot down a little bit. We have Alex de Minaur, big hitter. We have the tricky Jeremy Chardy. We have Sam Querrey there, and we have Milos Raonic.
And you have Matteo Berrettini from Italy.
Yeah, and here I think what we're going to end up having is Querrey on the bottom part of that section. Two big servers are going to match up in the second round with Raonic with the bye. I think we're going to have Raonic facing Querrey. Do you have the same?
Yes, I do, and I actually have Raonic winning that match.
I have Querrey winning that match.
Well, Querrey just hasn't had a very, very slow year. I think he's close to retirement, honestly.
We're fixing to talk about that. Just above that, we have de Minaur, which has a bye, which will play the winner of Jeremy Chardy, the Frenchman, in the next
or a qualifier,
in the next round. I have Chardy being very tricky, a good match to watch, but de Minaur winning that match. So you have a de Minaur, I would think.
I have Jeremy Chardy, the veteran, can beat the youngster Alex de Minaur from Australia. I actually have Jeremy Chardy winning that match.
So you have the tricky Chardy beating de Minaur. I have de Minaur beating the tricky Chardy. So you have Chardy Querrey, and I have de Minaur Querrey. No, you have Raonic.
I have Raonic against Chardy, and I think Raonic will pull through that match.
All right, well, I have de Minaur against Querrey, Sam Querrey, and then I have Querrey winning that match facing Dimitrov.
Well, I have Dimitrov beating Raonic. I think this is the time for him to make some noise. He's been training. Hopefully Agassi and Graf are doing something big for him, or maybe they're changing his mindset. Maybe he's concentrating more on tennis and less on girls. So I don't know. We'll see.
So you have Dimitrov going to the quarterfinals by beating Raonic.
Correct.
I have Dimitrov beating Querrey and going to the quarterfinals as well.
Okay.
So same brainwave, different path. All right, next section. The young and very vibrant Stefanos.
My favorite. One of my favorite, too. I got to put him in that category. One of my favorites.
You have young buck Felix Auger-Aliassime, the Canadian kid who I like a lot. You also have Cameron Norrie. Don't forget about Norrie.
He's also another youngster as well.
You have a firecracker and Nishioka, the Japanese player. He's a really...
Dennis Kudla.
Dennis Kudla's been around. Then you have Bautista Agut, who can beat anybody on any day, but he tends to tire late in majors, as we all know.
Yep. So we have Stefanos Tsitsipas, the number 9 seed from Greece. He had a bye, and to me, I think that Felix Auger-Aliassime or Auger-Aliassime will beat Cameron Norrie.
I do as well.
Meets Tsitsipas, and I think Tsitsipas will be a bit too much for him.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I have a really good match to watch right off the bat. Tsitsipas' first match.
In my opinion, you're watching the two futures of
tennis. You definitely want to watch the Auger-Aliassime Tsitsipas match. I think that will definitely happen. If it doesn't, it's a missed opportunity of a really good match. But I think Tsitsipas will be too much for the even younger young one.
Yes.
All right, so we have Tsitsipas moving into the third round. I think below that, I have Bautista penciled in, Bautista Agut penciled in, simply just because of ranking and experience.
Yeah, I think.
But this is a section where any of these players has an opportunity to meet Tsitsipas in the third round.
I have Dennis Kudla from the USA actually meeting Roberto Bautista Agut, but I think Bautista Agut, with his experience, his hard hitting, he can grind it. We'll get through that match, meeting Tsitsipas, but Tsitsipas beating Bautista Agut.
I have the same. We get there a little bit differently, but yeah, the third round is the same. Bautista Tsitsipas, with Tsitsipas going ahead and dismissing Bautista Agut. All right, so the bottom section, very interesting here. The bottom section of the top half, we have Laszlo Žiri, the Serbian player, who I think Jovanovic let us know about.
He's a number 30th seed.
Yeah, and has made a couple of finals here.
Yes. Well, he made a semifinal of not Rio Open. He won the Rio Open.
Yeah, won it.
But Sao Paulo, he made the semifinals.
Semifinals. So he's had a good run. I'm interested to see what he's going to do here. Right? Yeah.
Because he's played in clay. That's what we've seen. So let's see how he does on the hard court.
Now, there's a dark horse player down here that maybe not a lot of you know about. I know Arvis has picked Marderer before, but Marderer, the German player, can make some upset noise here. Matter of fact, I have Anderson, who's on the very bottom of the top half of the draw, getting beaten by Marderer, and Marderer facing Laszlo Giri in the third round. And then Giri beating Marderer, and Giri facing up against Tsitsipas in the fourth.
I have Anderson beating Marderer and meeting with Giri, but Giri beating him. Because I think Anderson's been injured. Okay. And I don't think he'll have the same year as he had last year. Okay. But I have Tsitsipas, Giri, Tsitsipas winning that match. So we both have Dimitrov, Tsitsipas in our quarterfinal, right? Yes. And I have Kyrgios in my quarterfinal up top, and you have Basilashvili, I think. Yes. And I have Kyrgios facing Tsitsipas in the semis. I do as well, and I have Tsitsipas. I have Monfils. I have Tsitsipas actually going through the final. All right, so I think this is a big tournament for him, a chance, to make a stand, to say, hey guys, I'm here. My top half semi, I have Kyrgios facing Tsitsipas, with Kyrgios winning that match in relatively straightforward fashion. Kyrgios will make his first final of a really, really, really big tournament, and it may not be his first final of a 1,000, but I think he's going to get, or potentially get, to the final of this tournament. I'm going to give him one last shot. The titles he's had has not been 1,000. It's been a 500 and a 250, I think. Exactly. Okay. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty confident on that one. Okay, the number 6 seed, Kei Nishikori from Japan. On his side has Tennis Sangren from the USA, Adrian Manarino from France, Donald Young, got a wild card from the USA, Hubert Hurkacz from Poland, and Lucas Pouille from France, which we haven't heard in a little while. He hasn't played. He's the number 24th seed. Okay, so this is an interesting section for me. Nishikori is always full of energy at the beginning of tournaments. Yes. But as the tournaments wind down, he begins to tire because he grinds out so much. Because of that, and it being early, I don't think Nishikori is going to have a problem beating the winner of Sandgren and Manarino. So I'm going to go ahead and push Nishikori. Obviously, he has a bye. I'm going to push Nishikori over Sandgren or Manarino, whoever, and put him into the third round. However, just below them, I want everyone to watch out for Hubert Hurkacz. Okay? Hurkacz, okay. The Polish player. He's good. Yes, he is. I have Hurkacz actually meeting Pouille. Hurkacz has to play Donald Young, I think. Yes. Oh, he'll get through that match. He'll beat Donald Young. And good for Donald Young getting the wild card. Yeah, and if Donald Young wins, great, good for Donald. But this guy's no joke. He's not going to come to push the ball around. He's going to try to win. Then I have Pouille coming in off the bye and playing Hurkacz from the Polish player, and I have Hurkacz winning that match, facing Nishikori in the third. I have Pouille and Nishikori meeting, and Pouille winning the match. All right, beating Nishikori. See, at this point in the match, though, because this is a rematch from the Australian Open. Remember, Pouille beat him. Yeah, and I think this is the point towards the latter part of the tournament, week 2, where his legs are on fire. But I really think I think Nishikori will meet Hurkacz, and Hurkacz could even win that match. But on paper, I have Nishikori going into the 4th round, but that's tricky, and I even have a question mark on my draw. I don't think they can see that. But... Question mark. Okay. All right. Well, I wouldn't bet on it, but I'm guessing Nishikori will at least get to the 4th round. Well, we have Denis Shapovalov from Canada, the number 24th seed. He has a bye. We have Taylor Fritz from the USA. Playing Steve Johnson to start. Steve Johnson from the USA. What a surprise. Two Americans again facing each other. Taro Daniel from Japan. Dusan Lajovic from Serbia. And Marin Cilic, who has a bye, who's the number 10 seed from Croatia. The first match... right there. Taylor Fritz, Steve Johnson. I hate it again. I know we give American tennis players a tough time because we don't feel like they're as good as they can be. But it does seem like every time that we come across a lot of these major or more major tournaments, or any of these tournaments, we always see, Isner playing Opelka right off, or Harrison playing Query, Fritz, or Fritz playing... Or Donaldson and Fritz. Yeah, Jared Donaldson, Fritz, whatever. So here we go. We are going to have one American, and one of which is going home, obviously. But I like Taylor Fritz. I pulled for him, too. Yeah. I think he's the younger one. He's the one that's making more noise. He's the one that's going to gain a lot more from this. Steve Johnson was a college player, a college coach. And he's been around, Yeah, I have Taylor Fritz actually winning that match.
You had the same?
The same.
Meeting Shapovalov, and then I think that Taylor Fritz actually beat Shapovalov.
Sorry, you guys know that he's another guy that I enjoy watching, and I think he'll pull through that round.
All right, so I have Taylor Fritz beating Shapovalov and going into the third round. We have, I'm sure, an agreement that Cilic will win his first match after his bye against Taro Daniel or Dusan Lajovic. Now, both of those guys can play.
Yes, they can.
But as long as Cilic is healthy, I think he's going to go right through them.
Yes.
And I have Cilic and Fritz meeting up. Call me crazy, but I have Cilic winning that match against Fritz and moving into the fourth round against Nishikori.
I have Cilic beating Shapovalov, meeting up with Pui, and even winning that match. And he'll be in the quarterfinals.
All right, so who do you have in the quarters?
Cilic.
All right, I have Nishikori still with some strength in his legs. I don't think he's going to go any further than that. Just giving you a heads up. His legs will get tired after this one. But Nishikori, I have beating Cilic and landing in the quarterfinals.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I've got Nishikori.
I don't know. I think it's going to be tough to beat the big man.
Not a super exciting section, you know. Nishikori, Hurkacz, Fritz, Cilic, you know, okay. Best of luck there.
Well, let's go on to the next one. Fabio Fognini from Italy, the number 16 seed. I was watching a video today. He was warming up with Rafael Nadal. It was good to see. He's got a bye. Marius Copil from Romania. There's a qualifier there. Nicolas Jarry from China. Francis Tiafoe from the USA. And Kyle Edmund from Great Britain, which we haven't heard much of. He played the Challenger, the Oracle Challenger at this tournament.
Yeah, because this section is a great opportunity for a qualifier to come in and make some noise.
Sure.
This is kind of what I call kind of a dead section in a way. Fognini, not a big fan. Again, his beard, if it's shaved perfectly, he can play lights out tennis. But if his beard's not perfect, he may not play that well. That's you know, just one of those things. You know, the beard can dictate points.
Yeah.
Now, and all jokes aside, Fognini just doesn't do it for me in terms of going deep here or beating anybody. I think anybody can beat Fognini as long as his beard's not trimmed properly. So I'm going to leave that section open. You have to watch out for Nicolas Jarry. Francis Tiafoe, again, he had a great Australian run, was tearing his shirt off, but then lost at the New York Open in the first round, and then lost again in the first round,
I have
right?
been meeting Kyle Edmund, and I have Tiafoe winning that match, because I think we're at, you know, in the United States, and I think the crowd will pump him, and he'll feel that. And I even have Tiafoe beating Fognini and going on to the fourth round.
Okay, here's my far-fetched upset alert. I have, in that section, either a qualifier or Copil. I think whoever wins between the qualifier and Copil to start will find themselves in the third round at Indian Wells. I personally don't think Fognini's gonna get there.
Well, I think
maybe, but I don't think so.
If Francis Tiafoe wants to do something, make a name, and keep going, you know, getting into the top 20, he needs to win these matches. So that's why I have him going to the fourth round.
I think Edmund comes back to life here. This is going to be called the resurgence. I
hope so, because I cheered for this guy last year, and then he got injured and then just went down again.
I think we see the resurgence of Edmund, and I think that we see Edmund play either Copil or the qualifier in the third round, and I think Edmund though will win that, and Edmund will be back in the news, and we'll see Edmund in the fourth round.
Okay, on the next section, Martin Fucsovics from Hungary. He's the number 29th seed. He has a bye. There's a qualifier there. Stan Wawrinka, the man from Switzerland. Peter Gajowicz from Germany. Andrea Seppi from Italy.
Tricky.
And number 4 seed, Roger Federer from Switzerland.
So,
tough for Roger Federer.
And tough for Wawrinka or Fucsovics. Both of them. I mean, that's kind of a...
That's the tough little section.
That's a strong little section, but a lot of firepower there.
Yes.
Lest we not forget that Fucsovics is a man.
He looks like a man.
I mean,
he looks like a soldier. When you see him walk, he's just like
he can play.
I mean, yeah,
he can play. And then unfortunately for all of them, Federer's there, and as well as Wawrinka is there, and poor Seppi is kind of trapped in the middle there.
Yes, yes.
Bad draw for Seppi.
Well, I have actually Martin Fucsovics facing Stan Wawrinka, and Wawrinka winning that match.
I have the same thing. Stan the man with 3 Grand Slams.
The beautiful one-handed backhand. To me, he has the best one-handed backhand in the tour.
Yeah, we love Stan the man. So I do have Wawrinka beating Fucsovics in a tight match and one that everybody should watch, and then landing in the third round against the likes of arrested Federer after his bye and beating Seppi easily. I think we square up with Wawrinka playing Federer, and I have Federer winning that in an epic match.
I actually have Wawrinka winning this match.
Ooh.
He's not facing the same Wawrinka that he faced years ago. Wawrinka is on fire. He has the better backhand. He gets into it with the crowd. He can play in the heat. I think he'll beat Federer. I'm sorry.
I think you're.
And I like Federer, but I'm going with Wawrinka.
Okay, so in that quarterfinal, I have Edmund or qualifier facing Federer, and Federer winning that, and facing Nishikori in that quarterfinal, and then Federer taking out Nishikori, and Federer makes the final.
I have Stan Wawrinka beating Francis Tiafoe, facing Martin Cilic, and Wawrinka moving on to the semifinals.
There you go. And who do you have winning the semi? Between Cilic and Wawrinka, right?
That's the quarters. I have Wawrinka beating Cilic in the quarters.
Oh, okay. So who do you have in your heading to the semi?
Wawrinka.
Okay, so you have Wawrinka beating Federer.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I got you. Okay, cool. My fault.
I'm sorry. I think your guy will go down. Even though I do love him too.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Okay. He might get a little tired later at 37, but grandfather time is not quite there yet.
Well, I'm 39. So
all right, bottom half.
It's not a big deal. Age is not a big deal.
Bottom half of the draw. John Isner is here. Oh man, hopefully there's a tiebreaker.
Number 8 seed.
Yeah, we have what was it? Wami? Did you say
Jamou Munar?
Yeah, Munar is a good player too. You have to watch out for Munar. You have Ernestus Gulbis, who I have highlighted here. Gulbis can go deep anywhere with anybody at any time. As long as he can keep his cool and stay within himself, Gulbis can go deep. Watch out for Gulbis. But besides that...
And you have Guido Pella from Argentina, who's a number 32 seed.
Yeah, but I'm not...
Open section.
Open section.
And qualifiers are... There's some empty slots there for the qualifiers.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If Isner wants this, it's his chance to, go a little bit deeper at this tournament.
And if Gulbis wants this, here's his chance to go deeper. If Gulbis wants this, he can have it. Right? If Isner wants it, he can have it. But
sure.
if Isner's serve is not clicking throughout this tournament until he meets Gulbis... if it's not clicking, he'll lose before he even gets there. If Isner's serve is on 80%, 82%, 83%, then I think that Gulbis will win if it's not in the high 80s.
I have John Isner beating Gulbis. I skipped through all that.
I do too.
Isner will go to the fourth round for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of a sleepy section, right?
Yes,
that's where you go take a shower and come back down and catch back up on the news. You just catch the scores of that one. Not really. I think that could be a good match, but Gulbis has a chance, but I think Isner slides through.
Well, then you have Pablo Busta Carreño from Spain, the number 19 seed. He has a bye. Robin Haas from the Netherlands, a qualifier. Tomas Berdych from the Czech Republic.
Let's go.
Feliciano Lopez from Spain, sorry, I said it in Spanish. And Karen Khachanov from Russia, your number 12 seed in that section.
Your boy Thor, that's what she calls Khachanov. He's had a rocky season.
He's had a very rocky season.
Do you give him any chance of going deep in this tournament?
No.
I don't either.
I do not.
I don't trust Carreño Busta here, even though I
have him losing to Tomas Berdych.
Yeah, okay, so we're on the same track. I have Berdych winning the first round match against Feliciano Lopez. I think Feliciano just withdrew from the tournament not long ago, but we love Feliciano. Well, I think Berdych will be too heavy for him. Berdych is back, baby.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Then I have Berdych facing off against Khachanov, and I have Berdych beating Khachanov. I think good old Berdych is back, and he will beat Khachanov.
I agree with you.
Then that would put up on my draw Carreño Busta facing off against Berdych, and I have Berdych winning that.
I do as well. I went for the veteran. I think the veterans are coming back, just like who do you have? The Frenchman that he couldn't play this tournament. He just won a bunch of matches. How did I forget his name?
Humbert?
No, the other Frenchman. You have Monfils, you have Herbert.
Tsonga?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so I have Isner meeting Berdych, and I have Berdych beating Isner, and Berdych landing in the quarterfinals.
I guess we were thinking the same way.
Let's go, Berdych. I like you a lot. Always have one of the best players to never have won a major. All right, so we both have Berdych going in by taking out the likes of Isner, and Lopez, and Khachanov as well. So a tough draw for him, but I think he'll come through.
I think so too.
All right, bottom half of the draw, we have Medvedev in there, young Medvedev. We have Mackenzie McDonald, who's done a little bit of something, but I still think this is going to be too much class for him here. David Goffin, we have Schwartzman, and then a scattering, a few players such as...
you're skipping through the whole thing?
Well, here's why. And I wrote this. This is kind of a boring section. This is a boring section. You shouldn't say that.
That's disrespectful to those players.
I don't mean it that way, but here,
check McDonald McKenzie, who's won a few matches. You have João Sousa from Portugal. And Kukushkin's done well, too.
Well, I understand that, but here, let me, we have...
David Goffin,
Medvedev has a bye, and then may face Mackenzie McDonald. I think he's a shoo-in no matter what to the third round. Okay? below that, we have some great players. We have Sousa, Kukushkin, but whoever wins that match, I don't think has any chance of beating David Goffin, right?
Well, Kukushkin beat Goffin.
Do you have Goffin going into the next round?
I have him meeting Medvedev.
I do too.
And Medvedev winning that match.
I don't think that's even rocket science at all. I think if the dominoes fall correctly, we're going to have Medvedev playing Goffin, and this is a tricky match here, but I have Goffin winning that match.
Okay.
Who do you have?
I have Medvedev.
Okay, so you have Medvedev going in to the following residuals of this section: Schwartzman, Carballes, Baena, Ryan Harrison, a qualifier, Jared Donaldson, and Rafael Nadal.
Nadal should be thankful that his draw is a little bit, not easy because no draws are easy, but just lighter.
I tell you what, Nadal has the lightest draw I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Holy shenanigans, Batman. So
let's skip through that.
We're going to skip through
Nadal meeting
Berdych.
Yeah.
Nadal, Berdych. And if someone wants to throw Isner in there or Gulbis, okay. But I think if Berdych plays well and beats Khachanov, we'll have a Nadal, Berdych, retro vintage quarterfinal.
I said Rafael Nadal will win this match.
And if Khachanov wins the round match between Berdych, I think we'll have Nadal and Khachanov.
Well, either way, I have Nadal moving into the semis.
So do I.
Meeting Wawrinka and Wawrinka beating him.
I have Federer playing Nadal in the semis, with Federer winning that, and Federer heading to the final to meet Nick Kyrgios.
Okay, so we have completely different finals. So I have a Wawrinka-Tsitsipas match.
In the final?
In the final, and I say Stan the Man is winning the Indian Wells.
So you have Wawrinka-Tsitsipas in the final?
Yes.
That's weird. All right.
I went different. I'm sorry. We all go with number 1, 2, or 3. I went different this time.
All right, so I have Kyrgios and Federer in the final with the mighty Roger, just like the name of the cat.
Of course.
That was meowing earlier.
Of course.
I have Roger winning this one. So that's it. Hey, comment below. Don't forget to...
I just want to mention something. If you guys are interested in doing brackets, go into tennisdrawchallenge.com. Tennisdrawchallenge.com. The name of the group is ATP and WTA for players. To join the group, you have to put a code in. 5K Tennis is the code. Thanks, Milo, for letting me know.
I forgot about that. That was a good memory.
Yeah.
We have done brackets for a long time.
It's fun to do brackets.
A friend of ours let us know about the one he was doing. We haven't done that at this point. I
actually did mine. Yes.
We checked into it today,
yes.
and it's a really cool deal, so we enjoyed that a lot. So thanks, Milo, for that. All right, so that's it. We will see you tomorrow at some point, right? It's a busy day.
It'll probably be a late show.
Yeah,
it's going to be a late show because matches start California time. We're in Alabama. They're not going to finish till late.
Yeah, and so it's I would say it's a safe bet to say maybe this time tomorrow night.
Correct.
Before we do our next show. But we will see you daily at this point, right?
Yes.
All right, so that's it. Click a like below, subscribe, share the video.
And don't forget to make your picks if you're interested in winning a prize.
The tennis racket giveaway, yeah. I'll put a link at the very end. You'll see it flash up, and it's at about 4 minutes into a video where I think the title is something like "Will Roger Federer win his 100th?"
Right.
But look out for that at 4 minutes in, and we talk about it at the beginning. All right, so take it easy, and as Carla always says,
adios.
See ya.
Buenas noches.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Good to go though. See ya.